So how do I feel after the Mario Kart World Direct? Exactly the same. I am not sure why they decided to have that be a direct, because I'm very excited for Mario Kart World. And after the direct, I feel exactly the same, if not just like a tad bit cheated. Because I just genuinely don't get why that was a direct. It should have just been an overview trailer, because that's basically what it was. They showed off a couple things that were new, or maybe we didn't know in full detail, but a lot of it was stuff we did know. They just showed like a little bit extra. And not even like a ton extra. So like with free roam, that was probably the highlight for me, was that they showed that there's things to do in it. Because I was excited for free roam as it was, and I assumed that there would be stuff to do in it. So to have that confirmed, I feel better. But other than that, I think the only new thing we saw was the rewind feature. Maybe there was a couple other things, like there were some of the items I didn't know about. Like I didn't know about the gold shell, so I guess only one I didn't know about. And maybe that was already shown off. What's actually crazy for me in particular is I wasn't even really looking at treehouse footage. And a lot of this stuff I ended up knowing from just people chatting in my stream and just in general, I feel like. I just ended up knowing some of this stuff. Because I feel like when it comes to a direct, they normally show stuff where it's like, yeah, maybe we know some of this stuff, but like, here's this crazy cool thing. I guess you could say that like the Rainbow Road thing that they hinted at was like a big thing, but I mean, we all, I would assume, pretty much assumed that there would be a Rainbow Road. I don't know if there was anyone that was like worried that there wouldn't be. I don't think this was some like big grand thing to show off. It's Rainbow Road. I mean, I don't know, maybe that sounds ignorant, but it's Rainbow Road. I mean, we've had it forever. It's a pretty safe assumption that it would be there. I just don't feel like that was some like big thing. But it's the only thing I could really think of that was really anything shown off in the direct. Because I don't think there was anyone that was like, yeah, let's go, when they were showing the rewind feature. And then same with Rainbow Road. I don't think there was anyone that was like, yes, let's go. Like, I mean, we pretty much would assume that it's there. And it feels weird even talking about this because, like I said, I'm excited for Mario Kart World. But I feel like all this direct did was just make me feel a little bit cheated. Because, like I said earlier, it's interesting for me because I wasn't really looking at treehouse footage. Yes, there is I guess I should really factor in more about that people were telling me in my chat and stuff like that when I was streaming about different elements of the game and in my Discord. But I feel like one thing that they could have shown that would have got a lot of us excited were more characters. But I don't think we saw a single new one in the Direct compared to the Switch 2 Direct. So it just kind of baffles me why they called this a Direct. And you could, say that it's just being nitpicky on that they called it a Direct and not an overview trailer, but I don't know. I feel like if it was called an overview trailer, I wouldn't even be making this video. I just would have been like, okay, cool. I can watch this and maybe I find out a couple new things and that's it. Because, we did get battle mode confirmed, but I don't know. I just feel like this was not needed. And it's weird to say because it's like, why would you not want more information on the game? But I just feel like this was not a direct. I genuinely feel like this was not a direct. And it was funny too, because when I was watching this, it ended up, like, I felt so strange after watching it that I was like, I'm going to see what other people are saying. And I was watching other reaction streams and I would skip to like the end. And they definitely were feeling the same thing. And it's so interesting because, like, I'm someone that's been, excited for all this Switch 2 stuff because there's been, like, a decent amount of negativity around a lot of this stuff, and I've just been excited. And this is one of the ones where it's like, yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, I think you dropped the ball. Like, some of the criticism that they've been getting on the lack of information on certain things, and, like, with the whole pricing thing, they didn't talk about it at all in the Direct, and in the Switch 2 Direct, and then information was getting all mismatched all over the place, and now we have this where it's like, well, guys, you showed pretty much all this stuff in the Switch 2 Direct. I mean, you didn't really need to have this Direct. Because I remember even when I was watching the Switch 2 Direct, and they announced that there would be a Direct for Mario Kart World, I was pumped. Like, actually, yeah, thinking about it now, it really is crazy that this was a Direct. They announced it during the Switch 2 event. And they pretty much just showed everything they showed in the Switch 2 Direct. So I don't even get the point of it because like I said, I'm someone that, again, it's not a full fair comparison because I did have people tell me stuff in my stream chat and in my Discord, but I was not watching the treehouse footage. So the only stuff that I saw was like more footage of some of the tracks and stuff. And some of it I think was just straight up new. I don't think we saw it before anyway. I'm kind of guessing at this point. But when you hear the word direct, I mean, you're kind of expecting something decently big. I feel like from this direct, nothing is really going to be sent around. I feel like that's usually like one of the big things. It's like there's something so crazy in there, people are talking about it. I don't know if there's really anything to even dive into with what we saw in the direct. Because one of the coolest things for me, I think I talked about it earlier, but one of the coolest things for me was the charge jump. And I have a strong feeling that people that watched the treehouse footage, they probably already knew about that. So for me, that part was exciting. But I mean, we already knew you could ride on the walls anyway and ride on the guardrails. See that right there. I think if they did not show that, and then in the direct, they were like, introducing a brand new feature. You can not only drive on the road, you can drive on the rails. Or like, it's time to go off the rails. And you're like, all right, like that's pretty neat. Then they're like, no, we mean it. It's time to go off the rails. And then they go on like a wall. I don't know if you can go from rail to wall, but like, just like that right there sounds direct worthy. Where you're like, whoa, there's like this whole new method of things you can do. But we already knew you could go on the rails, you could go on the walls. So I don't know. And then that rewind feature, I mean, I may use it to do how they were saying, like you could like try to route things out. I might use it for that. I just hope that the rewind feature doesn't end up being a problem because I don't know at what point you can't use it. I mean, you are going back spaces, so I mean, I don't think there'd be some weird thing where you could like weirdly benefit off of it, but it would stink if there's some sort of like exploit or something, or some people start like doing weird stuff with it. I don't know if you can use it online or not, but online is already an issue when it comes to Mario Kart 8, when it comes to, you know, a shell hits somebody, but like it doesn't hit them really. It just looked at it. It just looked like it on your screen, so your shell's gone, but they're still driving. I honestly feel like if Rewind is available online, there could be like crazy issues with that type of stuff, but I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird because, like I said, I'm still excited for Mario Kart World. It just, I did not, like, I don't think I was, I don't know. I was going to say I don't think I was expecting like too much, but it was called a direct. I mean, there should have been something. I think the example I gave was pretty good about even just the charge jump thing. They should have shown they should have shown no footage of that at all in the Switch 2 Direct. They should not have shown driving on the walls, driving on the rails. I think them just showing the wacky characters in the Switch 2 Direct would have been enough. Showing some of the courses, the crazy characters, because people were that was something that people were talking about. They were talking about the cow. That was like a big thing. But then in the Direct, they like showcase the cow again. It's like, no, I mean, we know that. Because it would be hard to even argue like, well, maybe some people missed the Switch 2 Direct. I mean, the Switch 2 Direct was like a big thing. So I doubt many people really missed it. I'm curious to know the amount of people that saw the Mario Kart World Direct that did not see any Mario Kart World footage from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Because I doubt it was many. So, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. I mean, like I said, I'm still excited for it. I just feel a tad cheated. I just don't think this should have been a direct. I think it should have been called an overview trailer. I think it basically was an overview trailer. I don't know. This feels like one of the weirdest things to critique because I should just be happy at like the little bit of new info we got. And I mean, I am, but I just hope that this is not something they do in the future. Because like if they announce like a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, I mean, it would kind of... Actually, that's going to be my gauge on this. If we get a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, which I don't know if we will. Maybe we'll just get another trailer or something. But if we do get a Direct, and they just basically show what was shown in the Switch 2 Direct, then I feel like a lot of people are going to start to get weird about the Directs. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure what their reasoning was with having this Direct, but hopefully this is not a trend to continue. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.